Hello, 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 and welcome back to Mr. Bucks Nation Live. I am your host for the evening, Mr. Evan Wanish. Let's see if we got anybody here. I know it's kind of short notice, but hopefully we got some people just hanging out, talking Bucks, whatever you guys want to talk about. Like I said, this show is pretty much for you guys. Just came on here live, pretty laid back stuff, not really anything crazy. So, what's up, Doug? If you guys are just joining, let me know where you're watching from. I know a couple of you guys have been repeated viewers, I guess. Let me switch my camera again. I'm not even going to start this. So, we're going to switch the camera before we really get going. Camera switched. It's a little bit worse, but it is what it is. So yeah, like I said, if you guys are just joining, and let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know where you. I'm always curious to hear. So but I want to know your thoughts, guys. I want to know your thoughts. Like I said, this is for you. We're just hanging out, talking a little bit of Bucks for the next 45 minutes to an hour. So let me know what you guys want to talk about. I'm free to talk about just about anything. Here to answer your questions. Just have a chat. It could even be about not football. Like I know last week or 2 weeks ago, last time we did it, we talked about a little bit of college football, talked a little bit about other sports, stuff like that. So Michael's in Tampa. All right, great, excellent, excellent. Always good to see a Tampa guy. Let's see. I'm gonna put a link up. Uh so what's all right, Dustin, watching from Alabama. Awesome, 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 awesome. Willie Beeman, my man, Willie Beeman. Yeah, go check out the Campfire podcast. Willie's a big supporter of us over there too. So go check out Campfire podcast. It's my podcast. I host with Rhett Matthew. So which I mean, you've seen Rhett. If you guys are watching the channel, you've seen Rhett a good bit. So G Vegas is another one who's always been a big supporter of us. What's going on, G Vegas? Doug's watching from Tarpon Springs. Awesome, 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 awesome. Like I said, let me know what you guys want to chat about. Anything that's on your mind about the Bucks, about really anything, about other sports. It doesn't matter. Like I'm down to talk about whatever. It's been about 2 weeks since I talked to you guys last week. Week from a week ago today was my birthday, so I did not go live that day. But Giovanni with a bold take says the Washington Commanders are going to win against the Eagles. Pretty bold take there. Let's see. Do you want to elaborate why? Like, why do you think the Commanders are going to beat the Eagles? I'm very concerned about the D line, O line, or pass defense. What do you think? Well, you know, it is tough because it's a tough measuring stick because I think Philly, in terms of trench play, some of the best in the NFL, if not the best in the NFL, honestly. Like their offensive line, their defensive line is both spectacular. So it is a tough measuring stick. That being said, I do understand your concern for that, and especially the pass defense, especially with Carlton Davis potentially out, Jamel Dean banged up. So I do understand that concern, especially with those guys being out. The Bucs have also have allowed a lot of explosive plays. So. Um, it is unfortunate. It is weird because they have been pretty good in the past at eliminating the explosive plays, but teams this past year have been getting a lot of explosive plays. Now it's only 3 games. A lot can change, obviously, but so far the defense has a lot of big plays, which isn't really characteristic of them right now. All right. Let's see. Willie. Yeah, right. Jalen Carter will have Sandhow for late night snack. Jalen Carter has been very, very impressive. Very impressive lately. Very impressive. But like I said, let me know what you guys want to talk about. Um, like I said, this is, and we may go a little bit shorter. Probably won't be any longer than an hour. I would say an hour is probably the most. But um, we shall see. But as much as I'd like to see Mike Evans get the better of Lattimore, I want to see Godwin get more targets. Yeah, I think Chris Godwin has to get more targets. I think that's a pretty big key for this offense to get rolling. Chris Godwin really been quite pedestrian the first 3 games. I thought he was going to have a pretty big game on Monday night. Here it was like statistically, it was his worst game of the season. So, um, It is against a tough defense, but yeah, I want to see Godwin get involved a little bit more. Swear I've been watching you consistently put out quality Bucks media throughout multiple platforms for 10 years now. Love to see you on a larger PFF type platform one day, man. Wow. Thank you, Ethan. I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind words. Very kind words. I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for the support as well. Like it's not possible without you guys. So thank you very much. Also want Godwin to get more targets because he's on my fantasy team. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good reason, I think. Um, I have him in one of my leagues. I think I do a couple of leagues, but I do believe I have Chris Godwin in one of my leagues. But yeah, I think it is important. Really, the Bucks offense has basically been how many explosive plays can Mike Evans come up with, right? You look at the touchdown before the half against Minnesota. And then you look at you take that away, the Bucks might lose that game if that doesn't happen. I think that really sparked the team. Then you take away the big play, the 70-yard catch against the Bears. You take away the 28-yard catch against the Bears, and you take away the long touchdown against the Bears. The Bucks lose that game too. So it's really been how if Mike Evans isn't having explosive plays, the offense hasn't been able to move the ball because they haven't really gotten many other people involved. So while it's nice that they got Mike Evans involved, you would like to see them get a guy like Godwin more involved, and I think that would get the offense humming a little bit more. Betting the Bucks, really quick. Week week 2, the first week we did, they went 5-0. This week, not too good. This week we went 1-3. And then the only one being the opposing team's one. So that's Jalen Hurts over 249.5 passing yards. So unfortunately, nothing hit there. 1-3, 6-3 overall record on the year. We'll have another one coming up for the New Orleans game soon, probably at some point here within the next few days before the game. So be tuned in for that. Let me know if you guys are liking the series. We're just trying something new. Trying new content here, hoping that you guys enjoy it. What's up, Mikey? Thump Thump Life Fishing says was behind the bench Monday. It seemed like there was no bonding or chemistry on the sideline. The team just seemed to be unmotivated. Well, I mean, it's when you're down a lot of the game, you're gonna be like that a lot of the times. I think it's mannerisms are one thing, but at the same time, like these guys know, you know, they know they have to go out there and perform. Like they know, but at the same time, they also know that it was an uphill battle. I think from the start, and it wasn't going to be very easy. And you go down, and then you go down some more, and just tough. G Vegas says seems like Canales one of the balanced ball control team, and that can work against lesser defensive linemen, but he needs to adopt the pass heavy against the better. Yes, the line won't get any push. Yeah, it doesn't. You're that game plan of forcing the run, trying to get it to work. It's gonna be able. You're gonna get away with that against lesser teams. You're gonna get away with that against the Bears, against the Vikings. You're not getting away with that against the Eagles. You might not get away with that this week against the Saints. You're not going to get away with it probably against the Lions, like maybe the Falcons, maybe, but like you're not going to get away with that against the Bills. Like against these really good teams, that's not going to work. Heard we worked out a couple of veteran cornerbacks. The Buccaneers did indeed. They worked out William Jackson III and Tay Hayes. So William Jackson III, obviously the big name there, was a pretty good player for the Bengals, and then signed with Washington. Was really injured with Washington, and then ended up getting, I believe, traded to Pittsburgh last year. I don't know if he played a game for Pittsburgh though, because of injury. Might have played one, maybe. I really do forget, but I do think there's a potential there. And Todd Bowles even said today, like that could depend on, they could look to add a corner if guys like Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis can't go. So if the Eagles are going to the playoffs, we're going to beat them. Whew, man, you must not be a big Eagles guy because you think the Commanders are going to beat them, and now you think if the Bucs and Eagles meet in the playoffs, the Bucs will beat them. Do you think Evans any of Mike Evans' drops killed some of the momentum. I do. I mean, he had the one on third down on the first drive, I believe. Tough ball to catch, but he should catch it. Obviously, then they dropped the touchdown. Another one, not an easy like gimme catch, but one you should have. Then he dropped another one, which led to a third and long, and the Bucs, I believe, ended up having to punt. So I do think it could have killed momentum, especially early on in the game. I heard Devin White got foot injury, kept him out of practice. Devin White guy, yeah, we'll see. Today was a walkthrough, so it was kind of a practice, kind of not. Very light. So basically, what a walkthrough is you're just kind of going through the motions. You're not really practicing per se. And the injury report that comes out is a projection of what would be if they had practice that day. So if they had a full practice, Devin White would not have participated due to a foot injury. Mind you, he's already been dealing with a groin injury, though. I don't know why the groin wasn't placed on the injury report because it's definitely been something that's been hampering him. That's the reason why, like, that interception that Jalen Hurts threw wasn't a pick six. Like, it is one of the reasons why he just wasn't going to be able to at full speed. But it is, I just keep an eye on it. Evan, you always keep it real. Hey, thump life. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Really do. What are your thoughts on Devin Tompkins, Trey Palmer's futures? I like Palmer. I'm a big Trey Palmer fan. Tompkins, I think he's more of like a specialty guy, but we'll see. Uh, Going to the Falcons game, want to go to the Lions game. Tickets are a bit expensive right now. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the Lions game being a throwback game, I don't know if those ticket prices are going to go down at all. So, William Jackson's draft stock went through the roof of the combine. Was pulling for the guy's shame. Yeah, he was a solid pro. I mean, I think it'd be a fine addition if he's healthy. Nice veteran presence there, which they need at this point, especially if Davis and Dean can't go. I'm not a big Eagles guy, and I want the Eagles fans out of Ramsey Stadium. There you go. This makes me realize that we need to stop drafting from small schools in the trenches. That Eagles game showed that for sure. You take your hits and misses. When you take swings like that, the hits are going to be like, oh man, what a great find, and the misses are going to be like, this guy just never panned out. So, I mean, I would argue like Logan Hall's from Houston, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka's from Washington, like Robert Hainsey's from Notre Dame. Like it's not like all of them, but you look at Luke Gedeke from Central Michigan, you look at Cody Mauch from North Dakota State. I get it. But I still do like I like Cody Mauch's potential though. I'm not completely out on him. It's 3 games into his NFL career, so but sometimes you hit Ali Marpet from Hobart or Alex Kappa from was it Humboldt State, I think, and sometimes you get not so good results. With the performance of Shadway, do you think Tucker will play a bigger role on Sunday? He could. Not 100% sure. I think they want to keep giving the ball to Rashad White. I think I think they want to see what they have in him. When are we going to get some run blocking O line? I know it's not this year and you have no control over it, but we just don't run block at all. When do we do our running backs can't find or hit the hole? Yeah, I mean it's a team effort for sure. I mean their struggles running the ball has been a combination of the O line not opening up lanes and the running backs not being able to identify those lanes when they are open and hit them effectively enough. So yeah, I definitely agree. Need to build the trenches. Yeah, I mean the Eagles exposed it, and like I said, to be completely fair, the Eagles trench play is some of the best, if not the best, in the NFL. So it is like you're going up against the best of the best there. But there is something that I think the Bucs need to work on. I think Hainsey is an okay starter, but they need either a Mauler at center or move Hainsey to guard, keep him at center, and have a top quality guard. Mm-hmm. JTS isn't that guy, no dog in him. See, I'm a big Joe Tryon-Shoyinka fan. I think he's been fairly decent this year. Especially on the tape. I made a play or two in Minnesota, was really a really effective player against Chicago, and then not really much against Philly, but honestly, not many of the defensive linemen at all were effective against Philly. So I'm still holding out hope for him. I think he can be a solid player. Is he going to be a superstar? No, but like I also never really expected him to be a superstar. I always felt even when they drafted him, I felt he was always going to be a guy that if he hit his ceiling would give you 8 to 10 sacks a year or so. And then that would be that. So I'm still not completely out on Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Can of Fire podcast is in here. Rhett, go check out the Can of Fire podcast. Like I said, that's my podcast that I do with Rhett Matthew. We do post game shows. We do normally 3 shows a week. This week's only going to be 2 because of the short week. But we will have a game preview coming out some point this week, so stay tuned for that as well. JT has got no dog. He got dog. Canales got to know the limit of the offense. You have to run just to keep the opposing defense honest, but he has to know they got to pass when the O-line's not opening lanes. Yeah. Yep. No, I definitely agree. And that's one criticism that I've had. Like, I mean, they were down 20-3 and they were still running the ball. Like, come on, you know. I thought we looked sluggish and beat up shading Philly. And do we have a lot of guys playing injured? Well, it was a physical game. I mean, Baker Mayfield even said that, the physicality was not necessarily where he thought it needed to be. And the Buccaneers do have a lot of guys playing injured. Like Devin White was playing injured. Vita Vea is not 100%. Jamel Dean, who played, got hurt, wasn't 100%. So, yeah, like they are a little bit banged up, but can't bull rush. He's a one-trick pony. Yeah, I should get more reps in JTS. Like I said, I mean that's your opinion. I mean you're all right. You're allowed to have your opinion. Just what I see on tape, I still like the player. Any thoughts on White? For me, I think he needs to run more north and south as team. Once he gets the ball, he pauses too long. Yeah, I think his hesitation and look, patience is one of his things, and that's why a lot of people are like, "Oh, he looks like a Le'Veon Bell type," and not necessarily talent wise, but just the style of uh, the style of runner that he is. And sometimes though that patience is good, but other times it's kind of bad. And this time it was bad. And yeah, I agree. I think he needs to be better. Bucs defense was on the field for almost 40 minutes. Yeah. I mean, just getting, and part of that was their fault. Like they couldn't get off the field in third downs. But do you think we get to see our number one pick this weekend on the field? I would say after the bye week's probably a bit more realistic. That's just my guess. I don't have any inside info on that. I would just say I think after the bye week's probably the more realistic timeline for that. Need to get Canty back when he's healthy. I think his athletic ability will be a big boost to pass rushing. I agree. I think, and he even showed that a little bit versus Minnesota in his limited time in the game. Palmer will be special, just needs more playing time. Exactly. That's all Roseman does is draft in the trenches. I knew since camp our line wouldn't stand a chance against all that. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's tough. Which like you said, you knew in that game, like that's what that was gonna be. You just kind of hoped for the best. You think this year they're gonna put Nelson out there this year? Nelson. You talking about Anthony Nelson? Defense played well for having the offense be non-existent. Yeah. We need to hit the hole, stop dancing. As you were dismayed when Bucs chose Kyle Trask. Not knock Trask, but these days QB need to be mobile athletes. Yeah, I mean, it's more of a traits thing with me. I did look at his lack of mobility as one thing, and I didn't think the arm strength was necessarily going to translate to the to the NFL. But yeah, who will get a new contract first? Who will get offered a new contract first? Wirfs, Winfield, Baker, or Evans? Oh boy. Since we don't know about Baker still. I say Winfield, I guess. Wirfs, the thing is, like, Wirfs isn't a free agent after this year. Wirfs is a free agent in the 2025 offseason because he has the 5th-year option. So they don't have to sign him. So defense. Yeah, already read that. Wirfs, Evans, in my opinion. Yeah, Anthony Nelson. Yeah, I mean, I think you could see Nelson. He's been a solid player for them so far this year. I didn't necessarily agree with the decision to re-sign him, if you want me completely honest, but it's fine. He's a fine player. It's just, and it wasn't like I didn't like the players. Like I felt like they should have gotten a different type of player. Yeah, a lot of people saying worse. I would say worse. Yeah, like a lot of people saying worse. I would say worse if he wasn't, if he didn't have another year on his contract. Now the Buccaneers can certainly do that early. Like they can certainly, and I think they would prefer that. But I think they're probably going to hold off, or worse, may want to hold off. I mean, he's been really good at left tackle so far this year. Another good year at left tackle could really, really break the bank. And like, don't worry, like it's gonna be in Tampa Bay. Like the Bucs have no plans to let Tristan Wirfs go anywhere, so they're going to pay him. It's just a matter of how much and when. Let's see, got 22 people in here. Let me know if you're just joining. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm curious to hear where you guys are watching from. If you're just joining, I know we got a few that I don't quite recognize from past streams, so if you guys are just joining, let me know where you're watching from. I'm always curious to see and hear where we got our viewers from. Let's see. We got all right, Black Crow from Iowa. Uh Apalachicola. Sorry. Sorry. Kentucky. Thank you for watching from Kentucky. Madeira Beach, Tennessee, outside Knoxville. Awesome. Clearwater, Florida. Cool. All right. Sweet. Got a lot of variety. A lot of variety. Don't have as many Florida as I figured. Like, I know we got a few, obviously, Renton's in here. Mikey's in here. I know, we got Clearwater. We got Tampa earlier. But yeah, yeah, we got a lot of non-Florida. That's cool to see. Ruskin. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Here, all right, Tampa, Florida. Nice, nice. You're watching in Bangkok. Really? Thank you a lot for watching, Joe. I really appreciate it. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. Clarington, go Bucks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, what you guys want to talk about? We already talked about a little bit about the game, talked about the trench play, talked about contracts. I mean, we could talk about literally, hey, the guys on, is this my Florida State guy? Florida State Seminoles. It's good this year. Number 5, Florida State bye week. October 7th, Virginia Tech. Go Florida State Seminoles, best team in college football. There you go. There you go. Florida State, they just escaped Clemson. Just escaped Clemson. Let's see. Go Knowles. Who's the cornerbacks who worked out today? They worked out William Jackson III and Tay Hayes. So both are veterans. But William Jackson's obviously the bigger name. He's a pretty good player. So let's see. There was a score prediction for Sunday. Does your prediction change if famous Jameis starts? No, not really, because um I'm expecting it to be Jameis. Like, um, yeah. I don't really have a score yet. Do you think it's gonna be a close game? Because I don't have a score yet because there's a lot of uncertainty. Like, I don't know who on the Bucks is gonna play. Like, are both corners out? Like that matters, So it's tough. How do you feel about Jackson and Hayes? I think Jackson would be a solid addition if he's healthy. Have a feeling of dread about the Buccaneers game in New Orleans on Sunday. Hey, I get it, man. I get it. New Orleans, the Saints in general, and in New Orleans has not been a fun place for the Bucs. Kamara isn't suspended anymore. No, he is not. Nope. He was suspended the first 3 games. This is his first game back. Georgia Bulldogs or Auburn Tigers on Saturday. Give me Georgia. Quarterback Jordan Travis looks very sharp, and defensive end Jared Verse looks like a top 10 pick for Florida State. Yeah, I mean, Verse was a guy who was eligible last year, decided to go back to school. And then, yeah, definitely, I think definitely the right decision to go back. I mean, he probably would have been a top 20 pick, 25 pick maybe this year. But I think that, like, or last year, I should say, but this year having a good year, I think he's going to be top 10 pick. Could be another big time revenge game if James Winston shows up. We need Villa, White, Davis healthy for sure. Well, a solid D line with Vita Vea, JTS, possibly College Kansas. A pal of mine lives here in Tampa, but a pal of mine lives in Tampa. Is going to New Orleans to attend a game. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's a tough game Sunday. We get a bye week after, and we need to get healthy. Yeah, I mean it's I don't love the early bye week, but kind of coming at a decent time for the Bucs because they are, yeah, especially on defense. I mean, like I said, the names that I mentioned on defense that were on today's injury report, like again, just a walkthrough, not a complete, not a complete like practice, but here are the names. Okay, one, there's zero offensive players, zero, but the names: Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, Servassier Dennis, Kalijah Cansey, Derek Pitts, Vita Vea, Devin White. Big names. Like big names. It's not like these are some minor names. Big time players. So yeah, I mean they do need to get healthy. Do you play Cansey this Sunday? I do not. I think, like I said, I think after the bye week, I think you could potentially play him. But I'm honestly like, I didn't think he should have played against Minnesota. I felt like that was a mistake. Got injured early with the calf, missed the entire preseason and training camp, and then I felt like they rushed him back. Just my opinion. Kentucky will beat Florida Gators. Go Kentucky on Saturday. Hey, Florida State fan rooting against the Gators. What else is new? I don't really care. I mean, if it comes to them too, I prefer Florida State, but like my favorite college is Penn State, so I don't really have a dog in that fight. Probably smells weird. Probably smells from all the weird different foreign foods. Well, yeah, like I said, what do you guys want to talk about? Like I said, we might go maybe another 10 minutes. Might be a shorter one tonight. We'll see. But yeah, what are you guys looking to talk about here? Like I said, it's been 2 weeks since we last did one of these. I plan to do one every Wednesday. We'll see about next week, but I meant, last week, a week ago today was my birthday, so I didn't want to, didn't want to do anything on that day. So, and like I said, in super chats are appreciated but not required. So, like I said, super chats are really appreciated, but they are not required at all. Does Colorado lose by 20 plus this weekend? I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot high scoring. I think Colorado's offense is going to have a better day against USC than they did against Oregon, but still might be tough sledding for them. So a tough stretch of games for sure. To be honest, our defense held it down as long as they could. 2 big time turnovers. Just sucks that Rashad White turned the ball over. Both turnovers. Yeah. No, I mean that's true. I mean, basically, yeah, right after the Devin White interception, Rashad White fumble, and right after the D Delaney interception was the safety. That's unfortunate. Last year when we were Jameis in New Orleans, he apparently was hurt and threw his 3 picks. I think he can do Tampa a favor and throw a few picks again for all that pass pay. There you go. What does the schedule look like after the bye? Happy birthday. Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate it. The schedule is Detroit. You got Detroit in Tampa. You got Atlanta in Tampa. Then you travel to Buffalo in a short week. Thursday Night Football. Tough game. Then you go to Houston. Then you are at Tennessee in Tampa. That's the next 5 games after the bye week. So, what players from another team you wish TB would have got this past offseason / draft? Oh, I'd have to think about that one. Yeah, hang on. Let me. I'll get back to that. What flavor Gatorade do you drink? And happy birthday. Thank you very much, Mikey. Flavor Gatorade. We got Glacier Freeze. So we got the light blue Glacier Freeze here. So let me take another swig. Personally, more of a Powerade guy, but Gatorade's fine. But I like Powerade more. Powerade, the Berry Blast or whatever. Oh, love it. Buccaneers win out. Okay. I wish Bucs land true stud running back. Where's all-star work done? We need him. Like that Penn State quarterback, Drew Aller. Very impressive so far. Drew Aller's a dog, man. Like he's my guy. I liked him last year. Sean Clifford was not doing it for me, and I was like, they got to put an hour. And because every time they did, he was productive, and I'm really excited to see him. He could be. I think he's next year eligible next after next year. So 2025 draft, he could be like a top 10 pick. Like could legit be a guy. Happy birthday! Thank you very much for all the birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love the blue power. Yeah, blue power is best. All right. What players from another team you wish TV would have got this past offseason slash draft? That's tough. I mean, you look at Philly, and I thought Rashad Penny made a lot of sense for the Bucs. Familiar with Dave Canales, I did think that made some sense. Obviously, Chase Edmonds being hurt right now sucks, but I thought Penny would have been a solid addition. Maybe a guard that's a little bit better than Matt Filer. I thought maybe it could have been a little bit better, but I didn't have too many big issues with their offseason, honestly. Like Baker Mayfield was the quarterback that I would have signed. Like I still would have signed Baker. If not Baker, maybe like a Jacoby Brissett. But like I wouldn't have gone out and got like a Jimmy Garoppolo or anything like that. Like no thanks. You think Tyreek Hill will honor a statement and go into adult film? I don't know. I don't know about that. That's just like Mike. Did you see Mike Evans' reaction to that when I guess he was on the stream with him or something? That was good. Propel or BioSteel was the best sports drink. My strange opinion with all Canadian sports drink. Okay. Propel, I like. I have a case of Propel literally right there. It's just berry. I think that's the flavor. It's sitting right there. I haven't even opened it, so I have Propel here, but I haven't had BioSteel. CJ Gardner Johnson, I don't care. He played for the Saints. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. They just, I'm assuming G Vegas was talking about if they like money wasn't a thing, Chauncey Gardner Johnson would be a pretty good one. Next off season, just saying, he got injured right there, and he's a free agent at the end of this year, so who knows? Jamal Williams, somebody else that had challenged Whitemore, that would have been a good one. Yeah. Non-Bucs question. What do you think the Jets would do about QB1? Zach Wilson ain't it. I get it. Nobody expected A-Rod to get hurt, but still, dude looks like a lost puppy. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the options are great, but I think I think Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is not a great quarterback, but he's better than Zach Wilson. Like I think he's better than Zach Wilson. So I don't know. I would probably sign Carson Wentz. I think it's your best bet. Like maybe you could trade. Like I would say you could trade for Jameis Winston. Not now though. Yeah, not now. Like at this point, that's the shame of it for them. I mean, look, people are gonna be like, "Oh, Kirk Cousins," like that's the big one. But I don't really know about that either. Imagine Brady with this O line. I guess it was a good thing he retired. Yeah, I mean Baker Mayfield has done a good job of avoiding some sacks, which Brady would not have. Logan Hall is a big bust. I think it's a little early. I mean, it was his first year last year, and he's only been 3 games into his sophomore season. So I'll wait till the end of the year to really put labels and stuff. Happy belated birthday, Evan. Thank you, Willie. Appreciate it. Spot on in your analysis of Aller. That Penn State left tackle, Foshanu, could go as high as a con. Yeah, he's good. He's good too. Penn State could have 3 players in like the top 15. Like they could have the tackle there, they could have Kalen King and the corner, and they could have the defensive lineman Chop Robinson. Like they could have all 3 of those guys go fairly early. What was the offensive coordinator? I think you meant. It's not good. Tulsa will beat Temple in college football tomorrow night. All right, holding you to it. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, Mally. Thank you very much. Like I said, guys, if you guys are here, let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm always curious to see. I know we got a lot of people that I don't necessarily recognize, so it's some newer viewers. I'm always curious to see where you guys are watching, listening from. We thank you guys for the support and appreciate the support from anywhere, but I'm always curious to hear where you guys are tuning in from. But we're just hanging out here talking maybe for, I was going to say 40 minutes, so maybe 5-10 minutes tops, maybe might keep it a little bit shorter tonight. So we'll see. Brady would have been doing his leg days and racing Vita Vea, then get a big 30-yard run while juking Sauce Gardner. That's a good one. You guys watch baseball? Obviously, the baseball playoffs are coming up. The next week, literally, they start. So exciting time. If we do sign a DB, do you think they play the Sunday start? How would that impact the defensive play calling? At this point, probably wouldn't play at all if they signed them. I don't know. Because I mean, tomorrow's like they haven't signed anyone. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you play on Sunday. That's kind of a tough ask. So I wouldn't necessarily expect them to uh, play much, if at all. So let's see. Red October. That's right. Go Phils. Yes, the Phillies are back into the playoffs. As you guys may or may not know, I'm not from Florida. I am from the Pennsylvania area, just outside of Philly. So I'm a Phillies fan, Flyers fan, Sixers fan. If you guys ever want to talk basketball, baseball, or hockey, or anything like that, feel free to discuss in the chat. I'm always down. But yeah, the Phillies clinched their second straight postseason berth last night. So hopefully they can get back to the World Series and win it this time. What do you think of the other divisional teams? Jury still out for me on Falcons, Saints, and Panthers. Falcons, okay. Saints and Panthers are where I thought they would be mediocre. Yeah, I think you're kind of right on that. I do think, yeah, kind of right on that. The Falcons are a little bit of a tough read. I do agree with that. Do you think we can use someone like Mike Edwards back in our secondary? I mean, I think they could, but like also like I mean, wasn't like an all-star level player, so I just don't know how much he really factors into much. Uh, be happy, buy you a B-Day drink. Know a few nice spots here in Bangkok. Bro, if I'm ever in Bangkok, Joe Jones, I'm gonna have to find you, man. Like if I'm ever in Bangkok, I will be in contact with you, my friend. Me and you can have that drink, all right? No problem. Um That'd be wild. Flyers season around the corner, expectations, pain. How about that? No, I don't. It doesn't really matter. Because like they're in a rebuild now. Like it was worse when it was worse when there was just like no direction. Right? They were trying to be basically this middle of the pack playoff kind of team, and they just weren't very good. Now there's a clear direction where like, all right, you're rebuilding, and that's okay with me. So I'm fine with a lot of losses this year. New uniforms don't look good. Philly Bucs fan. NC State beat Louisville. Utah over Oregon. Okay. BYU over Cincinnati. Okay. Ryan Neal still learning a Bulls defense. Just hoping he can pick it up quick. Yep. If Evan goes to Bangkok, he isn't coming back. That is true. You might not see me again. Especially if me and Joe in Bangkok. Oh, forget about it. Me and Joe in Bangkok. Oh man, forget it. Forget it. Red's gonna have to find a new co-host because I'm gonna be gone. Didn't Cliff Kingsbury went to Bangkok? He did, yes. Duke will beat Notre Dame on Saturday. I don't think so. I think you're liking to take the upsets here, huh? I don't think so. I was hoping that Notre Dame would beat Ohio State last Saturday, but wasn't to be. I was being a Penn State fan. Like obviously I root against Ohio State, but also like Ohio State was ranked sixth. Like I wanted Penn State to be able to move up, but Notre Dame decided to have 10 players on the field for the final play. So there's that. More into baseball in the 90s and mid 2000s. Was a big fan of Pedro Martinez and Greg Maddux. My sluggers were Chipper Jones, Gary Sheffield, and Griffey Jr. My closers were Mariano Rivera and John Smoltz. Love Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, who doesn't? Like, honestly, if you're a baseball fan, if you watch baseball in the late 90s, mid late 90s and 2000s, there's no way you weren't a Ken Griffey Jr. fan, right? And I didn't even watch baseball then. I wasn't even alive in the freaking 90s. But like he's so cool. Like he's such a cool dude. If you can steal one person from a divisional team, who to be? That's a good question. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about that a minute. Yeah. I'm gonna have to think about that because I don't think there's an obvious answer. I was trying to think of the offensive lines to like to add like an offensive lineman, but like the Saints offensive line has struggled. I mean, the Panthers with a Conwu's okay right now. He's still a developing piece. Probably Brian Burns. That would probably be the guy. Yeah, probably be Brian Burns. If you want me honest, Brian Burns or I mean Bijan would be fun. Having Bijan would be pretty fun, but let's see. JC Horn or Bijan. Okay. Bijan, yeah, a lot of Bijan. A lot of Bijan love here. I get it. I get it. That would be fun. All right. Well, I think we're gonna be wrapping up here around 45-minute mark. So got about about 3.5 minutes left. So Panthers, Frank Reich to be ROC, Falcons, Bijan, Saint Caesar. There you go. True on Griffey, my first fitted cap was from Seattle. If you go to Thailand, you might get lost in the parlor and not come back. Hey, might happen. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll try and keep a vlog of my time in Bangkok. And if one day there's vlog episodes and one day there's not, you know what happened. You know what happened. You know exactly what happened to good old F. One of one custom mustard bottles autograph in that week's games. That's really? It's kind of interesting. But like I said, if you guys have any last minute questions, we got about 2.5 minutes left on this stream. Want to thank you all for watching. Really appreciate all you guys watching. It is a pleasure to be doing this. I love doing it, and like I said, it's more laid back style, just hanging out, talking. Most of these will probably be an hour. Tonight's just a little bit, a little bit more laid back. I want to go a little bit shorter tonight. So, hoping for every Wednesday. I'm not positive next Wednesday, though. To be completely honest, I'm not 100% positive. So, but like I said, I want to thank everybody for joining the chat. Really appreciate all the support on the MrBucsNation channel, and then obviously the support that Campfire Podcast has been getting as well. So it's been really appreciative. Regular season's still here. We're still chugging along. So got a long season ahead. It's only been 3 games. It's only been 3 games. Got a lot to talk about already, but at the same time, it's only been 3 games. So very excited to keep it rolling and get to it. So, smart on his part. Mayfield should start a bakery and sell donuts or something. There you go. So, like I said, guys, if you have any last minute questions, I'll answer them there. But we got about a minute left in the stream. Like I said, one more time, I want to thank you all for watching. Really do appreciate it. Most Wednesdays, next Wednesday, I'm not 100% sure, but I will try and do every Wednesday. If I can't do next Wednesday, maybe we'll do like Thursday or something. I can watch Thursday Night Football here, talk a little bit about that game as it's going on. Maybe do like a little bit of like a live, like a live game reaction stream to that Thursday thing. Who knows? I don't even know what's the next Thursday. This week's Packers Lions, but what's week 5 Thursday Night Football? It is week 5 Thursday Night Football is that's last year. Week 5 Thursday. Oh no, it is the Bears at the Washington Commanders. So that should be a fun one to watch. Well, anyways. We'll see what happens. But I may or may not talk to you on Wednesday. If not Wednesday, it'll be Thursday. Want to thank you all for watching the stream. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate all the support. Stay tuned to MrBucsNation for great Bucs coverage. Stay tuned to Campfire Podcast for more great Bucs coverage. And I'll be talking to you guys again soon. Out.